Shalom. First and foremost, we're going to start off by giving all praises and glory to
Yahweh,
Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Yesharala that rule well. And salutations to you, Akim, that are out there prophesying this word in truth and in sincerity. And, this is going to be a lesson on basically on reincarnation. Because Apostle Tahar, he did a video not too long ago saying basically that every time we bring out reincarnation, the Christians run. They always they get stuck on that. You bring out that topic and they don't know how to answer it. And I'm gonna start off with Ecclesiastes 3, verse 15. It says, "That which had been is now, and that which is to be had already been, and the Most High required that which is past." And that's plain. That back then is happening now again. That's with a lot of things. It's not just with spirits. It's with for example, America. America's basically Rome all over again. The same things they were doing in Rome, they're doing right here now. And also with us. We were there back then, and we're here back now.
I got you right here to back you up and just jump to the first chapter of Ecclesiastes. This is Ecclesiastes 1 and 9. It says, "The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun." Right? And that's simple and plain. The thing that hath been is what shall be, and there is nothing new under the sun. You click again, because I think you still recording.
This?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's still on.
Kind of. Yeah, so simultaneously we still have to keep clicking it.
Okay.
But it says there's nothing new under the sun. So verse 10, it says, "Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new? It hath been already of old time, which was before us." Right? There is no remembrance of former things. So you don't remember your past life, but you've been here before, man. Mm-hmm. Right? It says, "Neither shall there be any remembrance of the things that are to come with those that shall come after." So when King Solomon was writing this, he was saying it ain't no remembrance of former things, man. It ain't no remembrance of your past life. And it ain't going to be no remembrance of the people who lived during that time. Once they die and come back later on, man, they won't remember none of that,
That's right. Hey, and if you're spiritual, you kind of sense that, because for example, us being in the brotherhood, we kind of have that sense, like, man, and some brothers actually get that feeling, man. We had to been together in the past life. We had to been dealing with each other just because the way we connect is so, it's so crazy, and that's part, that's because because you were doing the exact same thing back in the past.
Mm-hmm. And there's exceptions too, because the Lord's so cold. It's actually motherfuckers who claim to be, know what I'm saying, know where they died and shit. You know what I'm saying, and I just took a picture. That's weird as hell. But anyway, like I seen one about a little boy, and he was like, yeah, he died. He was saying he always was drawing airplanes and saying he saying he died in the Pacific Ocean. You know what I'm saying? In World War II or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't really remember all the details. But long story short, man, this shorty knew the ins and outs of that airplane, man. He knew the name and everything. And then the daddy actually went and searched up and found out that dude actually did die in the plane crash, just like how the little boy explained it.
God, that's cool.
Yeah, man. Well, majority of the people, man, majority of us, we don't remember. Like your grandma or somebody, or your mama or somebody, or great aunt or somebody told you, oh, you have an old soul. you know, or you've been here before. You know, they used to say, "Oh, you Uncle Elroy coming back." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Different things like that, man. Jake used to say that, man. You know, and it gives credence to what, man? That the spirit continues to recycle. You know,
and the prophets, you know, back in the day, they had that understanding. You know, they knew that there was such a thing as reincarnation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is St. John 9, and I'm gonna start at 1. And as Yahushua passed by, he saw a man which was blind from his birth. And his disciples asked him, saying, Master, who did sin, this man or his parents, that he was born blind?
Mm.
You know, and that right there, them asking that question proves that they knew, you know. It proves that they knew that reincarnation was true, and that it was in the scriptures, or else they wouldn't have said it. You know, and then it says, Yahushua answered, neither had this man sinned nor his parents, but that the works of Yahweh should be made manifest in him. You know, and you know, he was just turned blind so that Yahushua could do that miracle. You know, but yeah, the fact that they asked, hey, it shows you that they had that understanding.
Mm-hmm. I should back you up. This is St. Matthew 16:13. When Yahushua came into the coast of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, saying, whom do men say that I, the Son of Man, am? Right? And what is their answers? Right? Verse 14. And they said, some say that thou art John the Baptist, some Elias, which is Elijah, and others Jeremiah, which is Jeremiah, or one of the prophets, man. And this is what the disciples heard that the different people were saying, man. So why is they saying these things if they didn't have a understanding of reincarnation? Right. Why is they asking? Oh, well, not asking, but why is they saying, oh, he Jeremiah, or he Isaiah?
Yep.
You know.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 32. It says, and the spirits of the prophets are subject to the prophets. Because according to Ecclesiastes 12:7, it says that when you die, your spirit...
I'm holding it, brother. This is Ecclesiastes, took the spirit code, though. It's Ecclesiastes 12:7. Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto the Most High who gave it.
Okay, bro. Right. So the thing is that when it comes down to the word reincarnation, it means re again, in, and then carnation, the flesh. So in the flesh again, but what never dies is the spirit. You know what I'm saying? So the spirit of Moses, you know what I'm saying, is still here till today because his spirit, the spirit doesn't get destroyed, just the flesh. You know. So it's a continuation. You know.
Hey, this is Sirach 27:9. The birds will resort unto their like, so will truth return unto them that practice in her. So just as the birds, the geese get with the geese, you know what I'm saying? The swine with the swine, the ducks with the ducks, you know, truth gonna return to those that practice in her. Why I gotta return? Because of the process the brother just explained, man. In the scripture he just read, the prophets are subject unto the prophets. You know? Meaning the prophets would come back, just like he told Daniel. I grabbed that. Just like he told Daniel. This is Daniel, the 12th chapter. In the 13th verse. It says, But go thou thy way till the end be, for thou shalt rest. So Daniel is going to what? He's going to die. He's going to be in rest. He's going to be in the spirit world and stand in the lot at the end of days, man. So Daniel would be here today, man. You know, at the end of days, man, standing in his lot, meaning he would be a prophet prophesying, man. He would be interpreting in these scriptures. Just like how he interpreted Nebuchadnezzar's dreams. You know?
I got one. This is Luke 22:31. And the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan had desired to have you, and that he may sift you as wheat. But I have prayed for thee, that thy faith fail not. And when thou art converted, strengthen thy brother. You know? And he was already in the truth. You know? To convert means to come back. You know? So how can he come back when he was already dead? You know? So that was talking about future prophecy. Him having to die and then coming back and doing the same thing all over again. You know?
I got something for you. This is St. John 1 and start at 19. It says, and this is the record of John the Baptist, right? When the Jews sent priests and Levites from Jerusalem to ask him, who art thou? And he confessed and denied not, but confessed, I am not Hamashiach. He is not the anointed, man, right? And they asked him, what then? Art thou Elias? He asked him if he was Elijah, right? And he said, I am not. Art thou that prophet? And he answered, no, right? Because what? It goes to Ecclesiastes, the first chapter, man. He didn't have no remembrance of his former life, man. Because John the Baptist was indeed Elijah the prophet. You know? And I believe I grabbed that and go ahead, brother.
This is Jude. Actually, this is Revelations chapter 10, verse 11. You know, it says, and he said unto me, thou must prophesy again before many peoples, and nations, and tongues, and kings. You know what I'm saying? This John Revelator. You know what I'm saying? And the angel was telling him, the angel was telling John the Revelator that you're gonna have to prophesy again. You know what I'm saying? You know, meaning that he was gonna have to teach again, put people in remembrance again. You know, this is Jude 1 and 5. It says, I will therefore put you in remembrance, though you once knew this. You know what I'm saying? How can they know it if it's first time? You know what I'm saying? You know, in order for them to know it again or to be put in remembrance, they had to know it already or once knew it before. You know, and it says how that the Lord, having saved the people out of the land of Egypt, afterward destroyed them that believed not. You know what I'm saying? So how you gonna be put in remembrance if you didn't know it in the first place? You know.
This brother got something back you up.
This is Acts 1 and 8. But ye shall receive power after the Holy Ghost is come upon you, and ye shall be witnesses.
And this is Yahushua speaking to the apostles, his disciples. Go ahead.
And ye shall be witnesses unto me both in Jerusalem and in all Judea and in Samaria and unto the uttermost part of the earth.
The uttermost part of the earth. How did they bear witness on the uttermost part of the earth, man? And they died in the lands over there, man. Right. In the old world, so to speak.
Right.
You see? So how did they prophesy on the uttermost, man? Hey, the same thing he was told to John. You gonna prophesy again, man. But this is Matthew 11, and I'll start at 12. It says, and from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence. We are people, you know what I'm saying, before we're in place, man. The kingdom of heaven is talking about us, the people, the Israelites, man. The Israelites suffereth violence. And it says, and the violent take it by force. You know? And who is the violent man? The violent man is Esau Edom. Because that's who was ruling during the time when Yahushua was making this statement. It says, verse 13, for all the prophets and the law prophesied until John. And if you will receive it, this is Elias, which was for to come. He that hath ears to hear, let him hear. He that can understand, let him understand. And guess what? The disciples didn't understand when he said that right there, man. They understood in Matthew 17 and verse 10. It says, and his disciples asked him, saying, why then say the scribes that Elias must first come? And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Elias truly shall first come and restore all things. You know? But I say unto you that Elias is come already, and they knew him not, but have done unto him whatsoever they listed. Likewise shall also the Son of Man suffer of them. Then the disciples understood that he spake unto them of John the Baptist, man. And they received and understood that John the Baptist was who? Was Elijah the prophet coming back, man. You see? And Yahushua said in verse 11, and he answered and said, Elias truly shall first come and restore all things. So Yahushua was throwing another hit in there, man. Because that's a prophecy right there, man. According to Malachi, let me jump back. This is Malachi, the 4th chapter. Malachi 4. And straight to the point, 5. It says, behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushua. You see, that great and dreadful day, man. And Elijah has already came, man. Elijah is the elder Abba Bivens, man. You know? If that's John the Baptist, that's Elijah coming back, man. And he did what? Verse 6. He shall turn the heart of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to their fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse, man. You know? And we have been, our hearts been turned back to our fathers, man, according to this word, man. You know? Job 8 and 8, inquire for the search of our fathers, man. You know? It's like it, bro.
No, that's all good. Shit. Hey, and he that had ears to hear, let him hear. You know? Because you Christians, man, you can't get around reincarnation. It's clearly in the scriptures. You know? I'm going to get...
And then, you know, people wonder why they born with messed up limbs, you know what I'm saying, diseases right off the back. You know what I'm saying? Like the brother had brought out the one about the young boy who was blind, man. You know what I'm saying? You know?
It's a girl. I think she like 13, 14 years old, but she literally lived her life in a bucket.
I've seen that. Yeah.
She's something. She like Elam or fucking Ham or some shit. But just a big ass head in the bucket. Like, how is she alive? You see what I'm saying?
That's that. They see death and can't find it.
You know? You see that, man?
Man.
And man, that's why the scripture says, fear not him that can destroy the body, but fear him that can destroy both body and soul in hell, man. That woman is in hell, man. Whatever she did in her past life, man, she was a wicked motherfucker, man. You see? Because Job 4 and 7 says what, man? Whoever died being innocent.
That's right. This is 2nd Esdras 14 verse 35. For after death shall the judgment come, when we shall live again. And then shall the names of the righteous be manifest, and the works of the ungodly shall be declared. You know, when we shall live again. Now I'm going to back that up with Ecclesiastes 3 and 16. And moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment, that wickedness was there, and the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there. And where's that? That's earth. You know? Like it says right here, back on the 2nd Esdras, for after death shall the judgment come. After death shall the judgment come. Where's that judgment? Right here on earth. You know? Where it says, I saw under the sun, when we shall live again. You know?
It's like, this is Hebrews 9 and 27. It says, as it is appointed unto men once to die, right? Because according to Ecclesiastes, what happens? The body turns back into the dust. and your spirit goes back to the Father, right? But after this, the judgment, and the brother just explained where the judgment play out at, man. On the earth. That's the process, man, of reincarnation. In second Esdras, the Lord said, you hold something?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. What you was going to say?
No, in second Esdras, the Lord said that he would liken his judgment unto a ring, man.
I got it.
You know?
It's in 2 Esdras 5:42. And he said unto me, I will liken my judgment unto a ring, like as there is no slackness of the last, even so there is no swiftness of the first.
Mm-hmm. You know? So the Lord, this is a whole process, man. You know?
This is Job 14:14. It says, if a man die, shall he live again? All the days of my appointed time will I wait till my change come. You know what I'm saying? So it just shows that reincarnation exists. You know what I'm saying? Because like the brother was saying, you know, for the judgments, you know, it's whatever you done in your past life. You know what I'm saying? And you know, whatever you done in your past life and you and in your present life, you know what I'm saying? You're also you know, working to do better, you know what I'm saying, to appease those sins that you did before. You know, and pretty much.
Well, that's another one in Job.
I think we're looking for the same one.
And
I got it.
19.
Mm-hmm. This is Job 19 and 25. It says, for I know that my Redeemer liveth, and that he shall stand at the latter day upon the earth, right? Can you read that Job again that you had, brother?
Job 14:14. It says, if a man die, shall he live again? All the days of my appointed time will I wait till my change come.
Boom, right? The change gonna come when, man? You know? For I know that, this is Job 19 and 25. For I know that my Redeemer liveth, and that he shall stand at the latter date upon the earth. And though after my skin worms destroy this body, yet in my flesh shall I see the Most High, man. You know? He said, all the days of my appointed time will I wait till my change come. That ultimate change is 1 Corinthians 15, man. And that's the redemption, man. You see? And he said, in my flesh will I see the Savior, man.
You know, and also in that 1 Corinthians 15 chapter, you know what I'm saying, it says that that you know, flesh is it's 1 Corinthians 15 and 1 Corinthians 15 and 39. It says all flesh is not the same flesh, but there is one kind of flesh of men, another flesh of beasts, another of fishes, and another of birds. And you know, pretty much the reason I brought that out is because you got these groups. You know, you see it in their anime and their cartoons. You know, saying that reincarnation is true, man. You know what I'm saying? Like in Naruto, pretty much the first Hokage and Madara, you know what I'm saying, happened to be Naruto and Sasuke, man, all over. You know what I'm saying? They all got the same sort of spirits, you know? It's the same spirit, but a different body. You know, you have one that believes a certain way, and you have the other that believes in another. But I have all the same spirits. You know, that's why in later on towards the end, you had the sage of the six paths. He saw his two sons both in Naruto and Sasuke, man, because they had the same spirit but a different flesh. You know.
Hey, and that's a cut on what the fucking these heathens believe. The Elamites, you know what I'm saying? The different fucking Hamites and whatever custom that believe, because they believe in reincarnation, but they believe you come back as a goddamn rhino. You come back as a rat. you come back as a snake. You know what I'm saying? No, man. Everything is according to the flesh. The Lord set everything up in this order, man. So if that spirit was in it, your body's gonna come back into a human body, man. Because it says that, matter of fact, this is Ecclesiastes. Because we read Ecclesiastes 12 and 7, right? Which says that, I'm going to just read Ecclesiastes 12 and 7. It says, then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto the Most High, who gave it, man. The power that gave it. So it goes back into the heavens. But the spirit of the animals, if you type in the spirit of man, it's in Ecclesiastes. Because it says man's spirit go upward.
3 and 21.
You read it?
This is Ecclesiastes 3 and 21. Who knoweth the spirit of man that goeth upward?
Boom.
And the spirit of the beast that goeth downward to the earth.
There it is, man. You see? So those spirits that go up come back into what? Human bodies, man. Because man's spirit go up. The beast spirit stay on the earth, man. So this letting you know what? Hey, once an animal die, that animal is that spirit comes back out again, man. Because it's being born somewhere, you know. The Lord said in Psalms, can you look up fuck, I just had it in my head. Refresh the earth. I believe it's refresh the earth. But while you're grabbing that, this is Jeremiah 17 and 4, an old staple, right? That we always bring out, right? Jeremiah 17 and 4. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thy enemies in the land which thou knowest not, for ye have kindled a fire in my anger which shall burn forever. So when did Jeremiah, mind you, he's a prophet. When did Jeremiah the prophet discontinue from his heritage? Hold on, what's his heritage? This is Sirach 17 and verse 11, straight to the point. It says, besides this, he gave them, who did he give? Knowledge and the law of life for an heritage. Who did he give his law to, man? Well, there you go. You can read Exodus for that. So the them he gave it to was the Israelites, man. Jeremiah was an Israelite. So he said, even thyself shall discontinue from his heritage. So when did Jeremiah, which was a prophet, discontinue from the law, man? Discontinue from knowing who he was, man. Discontinue from being an Israelite, man. When did that happen?
Shit, he tried to leave the truth. What did he say? He had a fire in his bones.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He didn't want to preach no more, man, because he was in derision daily. Everybody was scoffing him, man. But he had that fire, man, and he shit. Just like Paul, man, when he was in I believe he was in Athens. You know, and the scripture says that he seen the whole city wholly given to idolatry, man. He felt that fire shut up in his bones and went in, you know. Did you find that, bro?
Nah. Okay. Hey, let the refresh.
You hold something? Yeah.
This Revelation chapter 1 verse 7, it says, behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him, even so, Amen. And this is Yahweh Shai when he comes back. The ones that pierced him was 2,000 years ago, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And yet,
no 2,000-year-old fucking centurions walking around.
I know.
You know?
Especially with the earth, its yield weakens. You know what I'm saying? They eating GMOs right now. You know, so you know that they ain't 2,000 years old. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and the scripture is saying that even they shall see him, man.
Yeah.
You know, which proves that that they're living today. You know. Verse 8 it says, I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the ending, says the Lord, which is and which was and which is to come, the Almighty. You know, meaning that Yahushua was Adam, you know what I'm saying? And Yahushua coming as Yahushua, you know, all the same spirit, you know.
This is Psalms. It's pretty lengthy. I'm gonna start up and I'm gonna read down though, just so you can get the point and understand. This is Psalms 104 and 16. It says, I'm gonna start at 16. It says, the trees of Yahweh are full of sap, the cedars of Lebanon which he has planted. You know, and that's where we get a lot of the frankincense and myrrh and different fragrances from, man. You know. It says, where the birds make their nests, as for the stork, the fir trees are her house. The high hills are a refuge for the wild goats, and the rocks for the conies. He appointed the moon for seasons. The sun knoweth his going down. Thou makest darkness, and it is night, wherein all the beasts of the forest do creep forth. Right? So it's showing the process of the whole earth, man. You know? It says, the young lions roar after they prey, and seek their meat from the Most High. The sun ariseth, they gather themselves together, and lay them down in their dens. Man goeth forth unto his work, and to his labor until the evening. O Yahweh, how manifold are thy works! In wisdom hast thou made them all. The earth is full of thy riches, man. You know, because he feed the lions, man. Hey, whenever a gazelle get caught, man, hey, that's the Lord feeding those lions, man. Whenever a crocodile catch a prey, that's the Lord feeding that crocodile, man. You know, the Lord said a sparrow don't fall out the sky unless the Father sanction it. So everything is set in its order, man. Everything is set in wisdom. You see, it says, verse 25. So is this great and wide sea, wherein are things creeping innumerable, both small and great beasts. So it's a lot of creatures out there that Esau don't know about that's in the waters, man. Let alone in the earth, he's still finding earth animals, man. Mm-hmm. So let alone knowing all the creatures that's in the oceans. You see? It says, there go the ships. There is that Leviathan whom thou hast made to play therein. You know? Leviathan, big ass, man. And it's plenty of Leviathan, man. It's not just one big ass Leviathan. The Lord made everything in abundance, man, in Genesis, the first chapter, man. Everything was made in this abundance, man. You see?
Hey, I was just reading Second Ezra chapter 6, which kind of goes to the breakdown of Genesis, and it names that it says that Yahweh Shai made Leviathan and Enoch dwelt in the dry land, mm-hmm. where the mountains were.
Which Enoch means learned man. So the men had the earth, and Leviathan and the creatures. The Leviathan had the seas. It wasn't just one man.
Right.
You know, it was many men, right? Yeah. And not even just men, women. They was reproducing, like the scriptures tell us to, like nature tells us to, man. That's how Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, set everything like that, man. That's how he ordained it, you see? A man and a woman, man. But anyway, it says, so Leviathan, there's plenty Leviathan out there, man. It says, verse 27, Psalms 104 and 27. These wait all upon thee, that thou mayest give them their meat in due season. See, the Lord feeds everything, and the Lord is everything set up according to the Lord's wisdom, man. It says that thou givest them, they gather. Thou openest thy hand, they are filled with good. Thou hidest thy face, they are troubled. Thou takest away their breath, they die. and return to their dust, right? So in the process of life, right? Thou sendest forth thy spirit, they are created, and thou renewest the face of the earth, man. And that's the process. The Lord said he likened it unto a ring. You see?
Circle of life.
Yep.
Just like it's, you know? And that was my favorite movie as a shorty, was The Lion King, man. The circle of life, man. Every third to fourth generation, you come back. How do we know that, man? Based off Exodus. And in Deuteronomy, it's a couple places, but it says that the Lord visit the iniquity upon the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation. But in the book of Ezekiel, it says that the son shall not die for the father's sin, and the father shall not die for the son's sin. So how do you explain that, man? Because you die for your own sins. You are your father's, man. Just you coming back every third to fourth generation.
Right.
You see?
Isaiah with the 14th chapter.
14:21.
Yeah.
Prepare slaughter for their children, for the iniquity of their fathers. Yeah, man. Because they are their forefathers, man. These the same fuckers, man, who was all in the ancient world in Rome whooping our ass, man. Killing us, man. Throwing us in the motherfucking arena. Having us wrestle lions and shit, man. You see? Having us be the fucking light poles that lit the streets, man. Our bodies, man. That was the light that lit the streets, man. These are the same fuckers that's back, man. And that's just back then in Rome. What about back then when we, just a couple, 100 years ago? Shit. Come on, man. What's like? You brothers got anything?
Okay. I got one. This is Matthew 28, it's like Matthew 19 and 28. And Yahushua said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me, in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon the 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. And that word regeneration is synonymous to reincarnation. It's the same thing, and that's written in red. So that's Yahushua, who you people ignorantly call Jesus, telling his disciples,
And this is Revelations chapter going into what the brother was going into about how you the same fuckers that was doing all that wicked stuff before are gonna do it again. This is Revelation chapter 22 verse 11. It says, He that is unjust, let him be unjust still, and he which is filthy, let him be filthy still, and he that is righteous, let him be righteous still, and he that is holy, let him be holy still. So if you was a 2/3, you know what I'm saying? You gonna be filthy. You're gonna be filthy and unjust still till today, because that's that same spirit coming back, man. That's gonna be the same spirit that's gonna put men of the Lord to death. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be calling them out like they did Peter. Like, hey, that was him. He was one of the ones. You know what I'm saying? You all are still here today. The ones who said, let his blood be on our heads and on our children's head. Yep. Y'all the same ones here today. And the ones that you talking about are the same ones that's going to be the martyrs for the truth. You know what I'm saying? Because them same spirits coming back. The same things are going to happen. Like the brother had read in Ecclesiastes 1 and 8.
Yep.
All right, because you got what? You got the seed of the righteous, and the seed of the prophet killers. The 2/3.
And the seed of the prophets and the seed of the prophet killers.
Yeah.
Another one. This is for an example. This is 2 Maccabees chapter 7, verse. I'm gonna read verse 11 to get straight to the point. It says, and said courageously, these I had from heaven, and for his laws I despised them, and from him I hope to read. Well, it's like I have to read up. Verse 9, it says, and when he was at the last gasp, he said, thou like a furry task, us out of this present life, but the king of the world shall raise up, who have died for his laws unto everlasting life. After him was a third made a mocking stock, because it was 7 brothers. You know what I'm saying? One get brutally tortured, had his limbs cut off. You know what I'm saying? So he could. This was King.
Epiphanies?
Yeah, King Epiphanies. You know what I'm saying? He was saying he was pretty much trying to get the other ones to bail out. You know what I'm saying? To consent unto him. You know, and it says and he was just going from brother to brother. It says, verse 10, it says, after him was the third made a mocking stock, and when he was required, he put out his tongue, and that right soon, holding forth his hands manfully, and said courageously, these I had from heaven, and for his laws I despised them, and from him I hope to receive them again.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? So the third Maccabee brother, you know what I'm saying, he like, I went off, you know what I'm saying, for the judgment that's coming, you know what I'm saying? Hey, it's right, it's rightfully done, and it's rightfully so, but I'm gonna receive hands again though. You know what I'm saying? Which is that new body that the brother brought out in 1 Corinthians 15. You know?
Read verse 20.
Yeah, no, just keep
Should I start it up?
No, go ahead, bro.
I was gonna say read verse 23.
Verse 23, it says, but doubtless the creator of the world, who formed the generation of man and found out the beginning of all things, will also of his own mercy give you breath and life again, and ye now regard not your own selves for his law's sake.
Right, and that was their mom speaking to him. You know, and she was basically telling me the for now regarding your life on this side, he's gonna give you breath and life again. You know, when you come back. You know, when you reincarnate, regenerate. You know.
No, verse 14 was ahead too, though. I'm just read it, and then we can close out. 2 Maccabees 7:14. It says, so when he was ready to die, he said thus, it is good being put to death by men, to look for hope from the Most High, to be raised up again by him. As for thee, thou shalt have no resurrection to life. Meaning, hey, you gonna catch that hell, man. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, man. You see? And then after that cold, hard 1,000 years, man, you get exterminated. You know?
That's right. You call that a quality.
And with that, we hope this video was edifying, and we'd like to give all honor and glory to
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai.
Double honors to Apostles of the Great Millstone, and salutations to the elect, which we hope to be. Shalom.
Shalom.
Baba.
Baba.